Last month, we told you about a Grand Rapids couple trying to gain legal rights to their own twins who were born to a gestational carrier.
And for many in the same situation, that means adopting their own biological children. It's a journey that another West Michigan family knows all too well after going through an agency to be legally considered their own twins' parents.
It's very disheartening, going through the adoption process. It's scary.
3 years after her twins were born, the battle of actually being considered their parent still haunts Courtney Wells.
We have great jobs, we have, a beautiful home, and we have plenty of love to give to any child. But you've already climbed so many mountains to get to this point.
Wells was born with a condition that limits her ability to safely carry children.
My uterus never grew past infancy, so it's very small.
So a family friend offered to carry a baby for Courtney and her husband. After months of deciding what the process would look like for both families, doctors transferred the Wells' embryos in April 2017, and their friend Tara delivered twins Will and Genevieve that December.
They are so smart and so fun, and they have the best personalities.
That time between the transfer and birth spent knee-deep in paperwork because Michigan law doesn't recognize intended parents like Courtney and Will as legal parents in these situations.
When it's an embryo, nobody really has parental rights to the embryo. Once it gets inside of another woman's body, then they've shifted and have started giving parental rights to the carrier. So, and that's, I think, where this whole thing kind of gets bogged down, is who gets to have parental rights.
Kathy Radna, the executive director of Greater Hopes in Wyoming, helped the Wells family with their adoption.
Right now, it's not totally different than when somebody is adopting a child that they're not related to.
That means they had to get a home study approved to give them the best chance of bringing the twins home right after birth.
They do have to apply to adopt, and that will involve the background checks, the physical medical background checks, getting reference letters, talking about their own social history growing up, why they want to go through this process, why do they want to be parents, look at their ability to parent a child, what kind of discipline are they going to use.
Wells understands that agencies are simply following the law, but calls the process invasive, expensive, and something no traditional family has to endure.
They are going to take everything that they find in your home, in your present life, your past life, and they're going to decide if you're fit to parent your child. And it's like, who are you to decide whether I'm fit to parent my own biological child?
Radna says it's all about making sure the children involved are protected.
If things go wrong and a child gets hurt, what could we have done to prevent that? And these are the safeguards in place that can prevent that.
She knows the process is draining and feels unfair. It's why she'd like to see a clearer path for families like the Wells and help them through it.
Maybe it's part of the Surrogate Parenting Act. Maybe it's a part of the adoption code. How do we move this child legally from the mother or the couple who birthed the baby? How do we move that child legally from this couple to that couple?
Wells says while their personal fight is over, she's dedicated to changing the state's fertility laws, making it much easier for others going through the same heartbreaking journey just to have a family.
Unfortunately, that law is outdated, and it no longer serves the purpose that it was intended to serve. That is something that we've been trying to do for a very long time, and they're finally listening.
Now, lawyers I've been speaking with say that lobbyists are currently working on finding the right lawmakers to sponsor a bill in the legislature this year to hopefully make it easier for families like the Wells to gain legal rights to their children before they're even born, and also without having to go through the adoption process. Of course, we're going to stay on this and keep you updated.